Richie.
The king was putting a squeeze on the colonists, and he topped everything with intolerable acts.
Very good. Bernie, give me one of the intolerable acts.
Ringo singing without the rest of the Beatles.
Okay, that's your one laugh for the day. Now, come on. One of the intolerable acts.
That land thing.
Oh, come on, Bernie. You can do better than that. Ted.
Well, question about the Stamp Act, Mr. Dixon.
Okay.
Well, the Stamp Act said that nothing could be printed without a stamp from the government, right?
Right.
Well, it was to raise revenue, right?
Well, and to control what was printed in the colonies. The man who issued the stamps could refuse a stamp to anybody at any time.
So it was a form of overt censorship.
Well, yes, it was, but, Okay. Read the next 3 sections on the revolution. That's 9, 10, and 11. Well, are you planning an insurrection of your own?
Got a minute, Mr. Dixon?
Sure.
I was going to ask if you thought it was right or wrong for the colonists to ignore the stamp tax law.
Well, all they could do was accept it or ignore it. They had no legal alternative.
Well, we don't have any legal alternative either.
Cool it, Helen.
You got a problem?
Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, baby, he won't turn us in.
You really are planning an insurrection, aren't you?
Well, I made the staff of the Blue and Gold. So did Helen.
Well, Mr. Dragan always approves my stories.
But Mr. Dragan won't approve anything that Ted writes.
Does he have a reason?
Well, he can't print what I write. The school board says that nothing can be printed in the school paper that's propaganda. If you have a point of view, then it's propaganda and the paper can't carry it.
Rule 1275.
Well, we try to get the school board to change it, but no student can speak at school board meetings without the approval of...
I know that rule, too.
What it comes down to is that we don't have freedom of the press. All our school papers could do is just tell us about dances or school teams.
Cooking hits.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But we can't get into anything heavy, anything that matters.
We're going to start our own newspaper, Mr. D.
An underground newspaper?
Well, it's that or shut up.
I feel like a colonist, man. I mean, we should have some of them pilgrim hats, you know?
Well, a lot of kids want to say things and there's no place they can say them. Like petitioning and racial polarization. Well, you can't write about that in the Blue and Gold, or about classes jammed to the doors, or out-of-date textbooks.
Well, it doesn't sound like you came to me for advice. What did you come for?
We're going to make a newspaper without any censorship.
Okay.
We want to interview you for our first edition.
Why me?
Because you teach, you don't tell. Guys who hate school want to learn in your class. We want to find out why and print it. We wonder what makes you tick.
Where and when?
Well, we've got some details to iron out first, but we'll let you know, okay?
Okay. As long as I have your word that you'll quote me accurately and completely.
Oh, we will. We won't guarantee that we won't criticize what you say, though.
That's fair enough.
Mr. Kaufman! Oh, Pete, join me for a serene moment in an otherwise cataclysmic day.
What happened?
Nothing, but it will. You're not the bearer of some kind of bad news, are you?
Well, I'm going to be interviewed.
Oh, that's nice. Teacher's magazine?
No, newspaper.
Oh, I hope it's not the London Times. My subscription just ran out. I see, it's not the Blue and Gold. I just saw the layout.
You're getting warmer. This paper hasn't even been published yet.
Oh, no. You're putting me on. We're not going to get one of those at Walt Whitman, are we?
Yes, we are.
One of those.
All the kids resent the restrictions of the school board rule.
Don't tell me about good old 1275 and the school board. Did you know something? Maybe you better think about it. It could be hot water for you. I mean, granting an interview to an underground newspaper. You weren't talking to me officially, were you? I mean, you're not going to tell me who's involved.
No.
Oh, that's good. Because if it was official, I'd have to say something significant. Go home and brood about what to do. This way, I can just enjoy the rest of the day and confront when the first copy comes out.
And then when you find a student that can write, you just fly.
You get the feeling Alice likes teaching English?
I do get that feeling.
You know what I heard today? Some of the kids are starting an underground newspaper at school. Isn't that awful and terrific?
Awful and terrific.
Well, I mean, it's against the rules.
Which part is that? Awful or terrific?
Oh, awful. The terrific part is the kids really feel something, and they're going to do something about it. You know, I have a kind of vested interest in it, more or less. Do you know Ted Winkler?
I have him. He's a bright kid.
Well, I think he has a chance of becoming a literary genius.
Is that all?
Really? No, I'm serious. When he writes about a rainstorm, you get wet. Look, really, he resigned from the staff of the Blue and Gold because, well, Mr. Dragon couldn't print what he wrote because of some rule.
1275.
That's the one. You know, I'm glad they're starting their own paper because he'll have a place to write what he really cares about and feels.
An underground newspaper. I wonder how Mr. Kaufman's going to feel about that.
Oh, he'll understand. But then again, maybe he won't. This is delicious, Liz. I love dessert. That's really good.
Well, how do you feel about a problem-oriented course, Mr. Dixon?
Well, can you be a little more specific?
Sure. A course where real problems are covered, like demonstrations, drugs, sex, you know, all the things that schools are afraid to get into.
Well, I'd like to see those problems covered in an open discussion course.
How do you feel about kids having a voice in picking what the class talks about?
Well, that's the only way the class would mean anything.
What about the kids having a say in the curriculum? I mean, the school's supposed to be for us, you know.
They can do that now.
Oh, that's a joke. Can you see me going to Mr. Kaufman and telling him to stick in a course I want?
You know, the school board has a rule that a new class can be added if 20 or more students request it.
Oh, if there's a qualified teacher and if the subject's on the school board's list.
That's where they get you.
It's a long list. And I don't think that 20 students can come up with a class that isn't on it.
Well, then how come the kids don't use that rule to get classes they want to take?
Same reason they don't get interested in student elections.
Oh, I see. It's our fault, right? I mean, it's our fault the system's the way it is.
To some extent, yes, it is. Oh, you may be interested in changing things. This paper is proof of that. But the large majority of kids just don't care. And that's why making progress is so tough for the few who do care.
That's true, man.
If you could pick a single social problem that affects students and teachers and society in general and turn all our national energies on it for attention and solution, what would it be, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, let's see. Ignorance, indifference, lack of compassion.
I only asked for one problem.
It's all one problem, Ted.
Morning again, all. Hi.
Oh, good morning. What'd you do, get a raise?
Nope. But I did manage to acquire one, count 'em, one copy of the first edition of Whitman's own underground newspaper hot off the press, and here it is.
Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Well, let's see.
They called it Truth and Freedom.
That's a fair beginning.
You're on the front page, Pete. Quote, Pete Dixon tells it like it is, and it ain't good. You got 2 columns and there are only 3. It says here you were interviewed by the staff of the paper.
That's right.
You didn't tell me about that.
Am I the only one in there?
Oh, there's a column called Our Teachers Evaluated. Oh, wait till you hear this. Oh, quote, Mr. Gilbert Casey, boys' vice principal. Mr. Casey's open mind is evidenced by his rapid-fire decisions that all explanations are lies and his absolute conviction that the students are the enemy and that without his iron hand, Whitman High would collapse and anarchy would run rampant in the street. Evaluation, A in prejudgment, A in oppression, A in overreaction, F in humanities, no times tardy and no times absent.
Boy, they really gave it to him, didn't they?
Zonk, Mr. Casey.
I bet Mr. Casey's ready to swallow his rubber hose.
That's not all. There's more. Mr. Dragon's next.
What does it say?
Mr. Kenneth Harmer Nelson Dragon has long been romantically attracted to one of the Bronte sisters, but it is not yet certain which one. He has been known to miss lunch because he couldn't decide between tea or milk, and that decisive approach to life spills over into the classroom where, more or less, though never that much more, he bedazzles his students with vacillation, equivocation, and hesitant but absolute lack of commitment. Evaluation, A in beating around the bush, A in fence-sitting, A in being on all sides of an issue at the same time, not enough times tardy, not enough times absent. I know I shouldn't, but I love it.
I have a feeling Mr. Dragon's going to be very upset about that next week.
More or less, but not necessarily.
Look, there must be more.
No, the next one isn't very good at all.
Who is it?
It's in very bad taste, and I think that whoever wrote it...
It's about me, isn't it, Liz? Is it about me, Liz? Well, read it. I mean, what could they say about me I don't already know? Is it funny?
It's terrible, and it's petty, and it doesn't deserve reading.
Please, Liz. Miss Alice Johnson thinks she's a student and also thinks she's a teacher. Single-handed, she has activated the word scatterbrain. She is the perfect example of those people who go into teaching because they can't stand the thought of leaving school. We are surprised she's working at a high school. Her attitude and self-image seem more suited to nursery school. This paper intends to request the school put in a seesaw and a sandbox for our bubbly little Miss Johnson. They didn't give me any evaluation. It is well written, don't you think?
Holding teachers up to ridicule? I don't mind myself. I've got the hide of a rhinoceros, but... Well, and look who's on the front page. Pete Dixon. He gave them an interview.
He's a very good teacher, Mr. Dixon is, if what one hears is true.
Well, sure he is. But I'll guarantee you he won't give us the names of those future Pulitzer Prize losers that wrote that junk and didn't have the guts to sign their name. But I'll find them, and out they go.
I wonder why they chose to remain anonymous, Gil. Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
Pete? I assume you've seen this?
How can you condone that garbage, Pete?
Here we go again.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Pete, just for the record, you did not know what was going to be in the rest of this paper when you gave out that interview, correct?
They didn't even have a name for the paper.
Did they quote you accurately?
100%.
Well, that's something.
Who were the phonies that put that slop together, Pete?
Can't tell you, Gil.
After what they did to Dragan and to Alice Johnson?
Well, what about yourself, Mr. Casey?
Well, you can forget about me. I'm the local tyrant. Well?
Don't intend to tell you.
Well, actually, while I believe that loyalty is more or less a good thing, there might be circumstances which override one's initial responsibility in some cases, though I'm not at all sure that applies here.
You know I'm going to find out who wrote that poison pen hogwash sooner or later, Pete.
Not for me, you're not.
You know what you're coddling here? Revolutionaries is what you're coddling.
Oh, well, now, I can see where he might be protecting, but coddling doesn't even really apply, except in the most abstract sense.
It's not abstract, it's coddling.
Coddled or sunny side up, it's still the same egg. The point is the students wanted a free press and they've abused it. Now, what are we going to do about it?
Ted. Hi.
Can we talk a little?
Oh, well, I'd like to, but I don't have the time right now, Mr. Dixon. Is that all?
I want to talk to you about the paper.
Oh, there's nothing to talk about. I mean, if you like it, read it, and if you don't like it, don't read it.
Goes deeper than that, Ted.
You've got that look of censorship in your eye, Mr. D.
Wrong look, Ted. Why don't you and the kids who are working on the paper meet me after school in room 222?
No. I mean, I won't do that. Well, you've got a lot of muscle, Mr. Dixon. You can turn us in, and Field Marshal Casey will toss us all out of school. But no amount of muscle is going to pressure us into allowing any censorship of our paper. Well, not even yours, and we dig you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dixon. No meeting. I'll see you later, Mr. Dixon.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Liz.
You know, I saw the cutest pantsuit down at Rubens, and they're having a sale. I thought we could go down there after school and look around.
I know you're trying to cheer me up, Liz, and I'm grateful, but a pantsuit won't help, no matter how cute it is.
Are you going to walk around like a wilted daisy forever because some kid decided to take a shot at you? I mean, for all we know, I may be the next one on the list.
Oh, no, they don't do you. They do the Caseys and the Dragons and the Alice Johnsons. The terrible part is I know they're half right. I don't know which half. See you later.
You'll find that point considered throughout the Constitution. Anyone accused has the right to face his accuser. Think about it. Bernie, suppose someone would say something about you and then walk away.
They could say anything they wanted to about you, whether it was true or not.
Do you think that matters?
Well, I can think of things I wouldn't want anybody to say about me.
Suppose somebody would walk up to you, to your face, say the same things.
I'd punch them.
In other words, if somebody has something to say about you and they walk up to you and say it to your face, they have to pay a price for that privilege, right?
Right.
Hold it. I want to talk to Pam, Helen, Richie, Al, and Bernie.
I told you we wouldn't sit still for any meeting.
What's wrong with a meeting, Ted? Shut up, Bernie. Well, who died and made you king?
The rest of you can leave. Those of you who I asked to stay can either stay or leave.
What's bothering you, Ted? The man's got something to say.
That man can't do anything wrong as far as you're concerned, Richie.
God, he never put me down like you just tried to do, Ted.
Okay, hold it. I just want to talk to you.
Bring a little pressure to bear is what you mean, isn't it?
I don't want to put pressure on you. But I thought you would listen to what I had to say.
It's about that teacher evaluation column, isn't it?
Yes. I don't want to know who wrote it, but I do want to talk about it.
Well, isn't that what you were doing in class a minute ago? I mean, those references to hiding behind anonymity, to hit out with impunity?
You're really strung out, man. Why don't you listen? It doesn't cost anything.
What you want to say about the teacher evaluation column was that it was rough, right? Well, that's how it is. Some people got zapped. No argument. But that's what happens when you tell the truth without a lot of phony pats on the head. Casey does think the students are the enemy, Dragan does sit on the fence, and Miss Johnson does come on like she was one of the kids.
That's not what I want to criticize about the column. It's your paper. If you want the column in, then it should stay in. I don't like it. But that doesn't matter because you're not writing the paper for me.
Then what?
It was cheap ridicule. Easy. You can find a flaw in everybody. Everybody knows that Mr. Casey is hard-nosed.
Oh, Mr. Casey could always do his own thing, and nobody could ever tell him that they thought his attitude stinks. Well, we told him.
And what about Mr. Dragan? Are you out to expose his love for the Bronte sisters?
Oh, you tell me what the column said about Mr. Dragan isn't true.
He does beat around the bush, but he works as hard as any teacher in this school to prepare for his classes.
Oh, we don't have to give his history to make a comment on him.
And now Alice Johnson. You really told it like it is about Miss Johnson. She bubbles. That's heavy truth, man. Well, she's also a teacher who does everything she can to help kids make better lives for themselves.
What's your point, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, get off it, man.
Hey, what do you want from me, Bernie? Johnson comes on too strong.
Well, what do you think you're doing, baby? You call your number being cool?
Okay, you've got us at each other's throats. Is that all?
That's not what I want. I don't want to see what was a platform for dissent go down the drain because somebody took a cheap ego trip. I thought the reason that you kids wanted your own paper was because our school paper was one-sided and stilted.
Well, it is.
So was that column.
That was an ego trip, man.
Oh, can you do any better?
He couldn't do any worse.
Oh, you're a real comedian, Bernie.
I'll tell you the truth. Now, what our paper's gonna do is chop down people, man. It's a real drag. I'm not gonna risk getting thrown out of school.
Like, tell me, what is the point of this column anyhow? I mean, who got evaluated? Nobody. They got chopped. I mean, who couldn't you chop if that's all you want to do?
I think I resign.
You can't. I heard Pam say that she was going to quit the paper. Don't, Pam. Don't any of you quit. I know you wrote the column that I was mentioned in, Tip. I never could mistake your style, even when you don't split an infinitive. I didn't like the content much. But then I wouldn't, would I? Anyhow, it didn't kill me or anything. What I really think is that the teacher evaluation column should be reevaluated. It hurts people. But even if it stays the way it is, and other people get hurt, don't quit your paper. Look, you have something to say, and you should try to say it. Say important things.
Well?
Even if we give the pluses and the minuses, some of the teachers are going to come up short.
Nobody asked you to make heroes out of teachers. Just be fair. I realize that truth sometimes isn't pleasant, but it's fair.
Maybe it's a column the whole staff should write together.
Maybe.
Do we still have a paper?
Yeah, we do. Right on, brother.
Okay, staff meeting in Pam's garage in half an hour. And I still think this meeting was an infringement on our rights as a free press.
Well, what? Is something supposed to be happening?
The Truth and Freedom is out. Did you get a copy?
Uh-huh. How'd your classes go this morning?
Just fine. Where's the paper, Liz?
In my purse.
Let's see.
It's a lot neater than the first issue. No strikeovers in the typing.
Did they do a teacher evaluation column?
I think so.
Was it fair?
Well, it was divided into two parts, pluses and minuses. Some of it was fair and some of it wasn't so fair.
Anybody we know make it this week?
Mr. Kurtz and Mr. Cooper.
Only two?
I was the third.
Can we see the paper, Liz?
Did they say anything terrible about you?
Mm-mm. They had some comments to make on the minus side, but nothing terrible. They did say that my door was never closed to a student.
Why don't you show us the paper, Liz?
Do you think I'm overweight?
That what they said about you?
Yeah, and you agree with them, don't you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, you'd say that if I weighed a ton.
Mm-hmm. Morning, Pete. Morning, Alice. Morning, Chubby. can we get upstairs? I've got a note from the principal.
You shouldn't, sir. If I let one person up, I should let everybody up.
Oh, yes, victim of my own joke. It was a joke.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work. I thought I was joking. Wasn't I joking?
Well, he's sort of the serious type.
You have him in any of your classes?
No, I just seen him monitor. I think he's on the track team.
Oh, yes, he's the captain of the team. Craig Jackson. He's a good boy. Dean's List. Straight ahead.
Hi there.
You have to use the other stairs. Everyone.
Now, listen, man, my homeroom's right up there.
I'm sorry, other staircase.
Now, come on, Craig, it's no big deal.
Look, I didn't make up the rules. There's equipment up there.
All right, so what am I gonna do? Steal a paintbrush?
Look, if I let you up, I gotta let everybody up.
No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is maybe turn your back a little bit and tie your shoe or something.
Look, why don't you go the other way
Look,
like
man,
everybody
what's it to
else?
you, huh?
Be so special.
Oh, no, not...
All right, Craig.
Hi, Miss Johnson.
Well, what's going on?
Miss Johnson, nobody's supposed to go through here. They're painting.
I'm just trying to get to my room, that's all.
Well, can't he go up this way?
No, I was assigned here because of the painters.
There are no painters now.
Look, all I know is I was assigned to patrol here.
Yeah, but don't you think... You better go around.
Okay, sure. Carry on, Sergeant.
Mr. Kaufman? Oh, morning, Dan.
How'd you make out, Dan?
What'd the doc say? What did he prescribe? Did the track team do better this year?
Well, that might not be a bad idea. No, it's hypertension. He said I have to give up all outside activities, track, anything that gets me excited, anything that I enjoy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan.
For how long?
Oh, maybe just the rest of the season.
Oh.
Well, I have to find a temporary track coach. I'll appoint a volunteer, right? I think I know someone. A man of great energy, athletic experience, tremendous devotion to the kids, and with very little spare time.
Who do you think he has in mind?
Now, I'd like you all to take a look at this. It's neat, it's easy to read, and the margins are perfect. And all the references are indexed on the back. Oh, I can see Paul back there snickering. But uncluttered edges, sharp lines, high polish and neatness are just as important in a composition as they are in a hot rod. There you are, Craig. B+.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you. Now, I gave 1 A, and the author got absolutely nothing for neatness. This is for humor, insight, and the way the thoughts are expressed. It's called How I Turned On to George Washington. Look, Brendan, would you come up here and read this for the class, please?
Yeah. Come on, man. I can't read my own writing.
I can understand that, believe me. Come on.
How I Turned On to George Washington by me. It always seemed to me that Mount Rushmore didn't look like George Washington, but George Washington looked like Mount Rushmore. Kind of gray and cold and stony. Remember how in grammar school, every classroom had this same unfinished picture? G. Washington, father of country? And then there were all those paintings about the Revolution. 1776, that is.
Right on.
Well, enlisted men, like at Valley Forge, were always wrapped in rags and turning blue, while General Washington always seemed nice and cozy, like he had thermal underwear under his uniform.
Yes, Craig?
Miss Johnson, I don't think that's particularly funny. In fact, I think it's rather disrespectful.
I see. Well, why don't we let Brendan finish, okay?
But one day, I read a letter General Washington wrote to a young lieutenant who had gone AWOL to see his girl. The letter was compassionate, simple, and understanding. So I began to get with George Washington. And all of a sudden, bam, it hit me. I mean, he carried that revolution on his back. He commanded the loyalty of kids as idealistic as Lafayette and men as worldly as Franklin. Over. He was a man of unbelievable courage, a man of authority who really didn't want to be a king. George Washington, the father figure of his country. Come back, George. We need you. After all, how many presidents have you known who'd powder their hair and tie it in back with a ribbon?
Thank you, Brendan. Yes, Craig.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is, it was a humorous piece. I guess it was even well written, but I really do think it was disrespectful.
Oh, come on, I dug it.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Okay, hold it, please. Now, Craig, I don't think you can honestly say it put George Washington down. It makes him seem alive. Look, does anyone else agree with Craig?
No.
Wait, now, I see what Craig objects to. It is flippant. But the real value of the composition is in its content, and it would remain the same whether it were written in blank verse or in the underground press.
Hey. One, two, and ho! Okay, leg stretching, let's go. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2.
Greg is a natural leader. He's been more like an assistant coach than just the captain. You can lean on him whenever you need anything.
1, 2, and halt. Okay, everybody, laps. Come on, let's go.
Well, Craig, I guess this is it.
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to do your best for Mr. Dixon here, just as you did for me.
I will, sir.
Attaboy. Good luck, Pete. Oh.
He really dedicated himself.
Are the crowds in the stands ready?
What's going on?
The great Stampede!
Nice, baby.
Now, 18 feet 6 inches.
Hey, we've only got 2 of those poles, sir. I'd better get it.
The greatest show on earth. Okay.
All right, I take the pole.
Let me use it just for a minute. Huh?
Look, we've only got 2 of them, Brendan.
All right, look. It's school property. My mother pays taxes. I'm entitled to use it at least once.
No, only members of the team. Now, come on.
Okay, all right, fellas, knock it off.
Sir, can I test this piece of school property as a member of the student body in good standing?
He doesn't even know how to hold it, sir. He could kill himself.
You know this equipment is reserved for the team.
Well, that's not democratic.
Now, you could have come out for the team. Nobody stopped you.
Okay. I hereby wish to announce my candidacy for the WW High Track team. I'd like to audition for the pole vault.
Do you think you can vault that?
You the new track coach here?
That's right. For the rest of the season.
If I can clear that for you, you let me come out for the team?
Anybody can come out for the team.
What about the dress code?
We don't have a dress code here at Whitman.
The track team does.
Oh, if you mean that the fellas wear tracksuits in the school colors, we do. Does that bother you?
Well, what do you want to wear? Bell-bottoms and psychedelic shirts?
All right, man, you know what I'm talking about. Coach, Mr. Highland said that unless I cut my hair, I couldn't come out for the track team.
I didn't know that.
Sir, Mr. Highland said that neat appearance helps morale, and that a team needs good morale if it's to do its best.
Well, I don't think you fellas have to cut your hair if you don't want to.
But Mr. Highland said that a haircut is part of the uniform.
Well, I disagree. You fellas decide that for yourselves.
Great. Yeah. Now can I take a crack at that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Before I lose my confidence.
Man, that guy's gonna kill himself, the jerk.
Hey, Hip, hop! Look at him. Hip, hop!
Hey, come on, you guys. Quit horsing around. You're ruining the practice.
Hip, hop!
Hey, Coach, let us show you this thing, man. Listen, we got these contests we're making up for the 1973 Mod Olympics. It's a test of speed, skill, endurance, and courtesy.
Out of sight. I'll be the finish.
Right.
Come on, man. Hey, don't skip.
Okay, laps. Everybody. I want to see the sprinters for practice starts.
Of course I don't want you to quit. You've worked too hard, and besides, you're captain of the team.
Am I?
You think the team is falling apart, that there's no discipline, and that it's my fault, right?
Now, come on, Mr. Dixon. It's gotten to be one big joke, you know that. Look, it wasn't like that with Mr. Highland. We worked. Now everybody's just clowning around.
Everybody meaning Brendan Michaels.
He's got all the rest of those sheep doing it.
Let me ask you something. In the 3 weeks since Mr. Highland had to give this up, are practice sessions longer or shorter? Are you doing fewer laps? You know, I keep a daily worksheet. And Craig, nobody's goofing off.
Look, I didn't actually say anybody was goofing off. It's just so disorganized. You can't have any pride.
Let's talk about Brendan Michaels. Isn't that what this is all about?
All right, he can pole vault.
Look, I know you don't like him and he doesn't like you. Maybe you both will just have to learn to live with that.
But what about his hair?
His hair. What about it?
Look, at least 5 other guys had to get theirs cut to be on the squad. Ed, Dave, Phil Dorfman. Look, it just isn't fair.
Well, now they can wear their hair any way they want to, okay?
Okay. But, you know, it's a funny thing, sir. I'll bet I try to obey the rules and do what's right as much as anybody else in this school, and maybe more. But I always seem to be the one that's picked out as being wrong. I mean, you do what you're told, and everybody, even your teachers, they laugh at you and call you paranoid.
You think that what Craig says is true? When I was in school, it was the opposite. A decent, clean-cut kid like Craig, hard-working, would have been one of the most popular kids in school. I hate to see him quit the team.
Well, he and Brendan just don't seem to be able to cut it. Craig seems to feel that Brendan has turned the other members of the team against him.
Isn't that ridiculous, over hair and clothes and nonsense like that? Can't they see how unimportant that stuff is? If 2 kids that have that much in common can't exist on the same track team, wow, what kind of a chance do we have? Can't you make them understand that, Pete?
No. All I can do is try to get them to talk to each other. They'll have to learn how to understand on their own.
It's a good trip. Whew. You gotta try it, Coach. It's a blast.
No, thank you. I like to keep my feet on the ground.
Well, you gotta open up to new things.
Sure, we all do. Listen, I asked Craig to have a talk with you. Don't turn him off, okay?
He said he wants to quit. So let him quit. Why all this group therapy?
Well, I don't want him to quit.
Why, because he put in his time?
No. Because he works hard and he's an asset to the team.
You looking for the winning season, Coach? I mean, if you want to show up old hypertense Highland, I guess I can dig on that.
I'm not in competition with Mr. Highland. And there's nothing wrong with being on a winning team.
Wanting to win can get to be sick if you're not careful.
I'll be careful.
And you do it because it's a groove. You said that yourself.
Sure. Now, what about Craig?
If he talks to me, I'll talk to him.
Mr. Dixon said that that we ought to have a little talk.
Yeah, so I heard.
Don't exactly know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, well, we're supposed to pat each other on the back, let bygones be bygones, and kiss and make up.
I don't think that's very funny.
Well, you don't think anything's funny.
No, I don't think everything is funny.
I think it's pretty funny. You said you were quitting, now you're trying to crawl back.
And I'm not crawling back. You know, since you've come on the team, it just isn't worth being on.
You think I've screwed up the team?
Yeah, that's right.
That the mighty Whitman poets might not get their fair share of victories this glorious season.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's all you know how to do, isn't it? Tear things down. You know, people like you ruin everything that's good.
And people like you make me sick. And up, 2, 3, 4. There's only one way to see everything. Your way.
Not my way, the right way. You know, there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, and slobs like you don't know the difference.
You know what you are, man? A nut. There isn't one guy on the team doesn't think you're some sort of stupid, paranoid nut. Up, 2, 3, 4. Go on, man. Up, 2, 3, 4. Man, why don't you quit? Who cares? You want to know who? Nobody. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, Brendan. Great, man, great. You did it! You did it! You did it! Hey, man.
All right, way to go, man. Hey, 5 more points. Coach, mark it down. How we doing?
We still got a chance. You guys with events to go, you hang nice and loose, okay? What happened to you?
I was warming up, and the old hamstring went. It's not too serious, but I sure can't run.
Help him to the locker room.
Sorry, Mr. Dixon.
It's not your fault, Luther. Put some heat on it, and I'll take a look at it later, okay?
That about kills our chances of winning the meet.
We still have another chance. All we need is the first in the 440-yard relay, and we might be able to squeeze in.
We're not going to win with 3 men. With Luther out, we don't have another man to run.
Oh, yes, we do. Him.
He's really something, isn't he? I mean, no matter what, he just keeps cheering us on right to the bitter end. You can ask him to take Luther's spot?
No. You are.
We can win. What? We can win.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Now look, man, it's not for me. Luther, Byron, all those other guys, they really want to win this one.
Yeah, they've sure been trying.
Oh, well, look at Luther, man. He's down in the locker room with a pulled muscle.
You mean win one for the Gipper, huh?
What's that?
Oh, that's when the coach tells his team that the star halfback is in the hospital. You know, win one for the old Gipper. Sounds pretty rah-rah to me.
Yeah, okay. You got me. I guess I've been pretty Look, man, I'm sorry for what I said. It wasn't true. Anyway, it's not going to be any skin off my nose if we don't win this track meet. But I think we ought to do the best we can. That means all of us. So if you want to run, you got about 45 seconds to suit up, huh? Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, skinhead. Come on, do it for Whitman. Be a hero. Come on. Come on, you hairless wonder. Run! Come on, man, run! Run! Hey, that's all right, man. It's all right. You had a great race.
It's okay. Come on, let's go sit down. Come on, rest.
Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning, Miss Johnson.
Excuse me, I have to get through.
I'm sorry, Miss Johnson, but there's a light fixture broken up there, and until it's replaced, I can't let anybody get through here.
Yeah, but my class is right at the top of the stairs. See, I don't want to go all the way around the building.
No exceptions, Miss Johnson.
Morning, Brendan. I just have to, I can't.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Kaufman, but the law must be obeyed at the top if the rest of us are going to respect it.
Of course. Kind of a hippie is that?
Brendan, you a hall monitor?
That's right.
It's okay. You can let us through. We won't tell anybody.
Sorry, I can't let anybody get through here.
Now, buddy, look.
Hey.
Thanks for taking over for me. How'd you make out?
I just handled the job exactly the way you would have. I was hard-headed, unbending, stubborn. I probably made 100 enemies. The coach, the principal, teachers, kids.
Hey, Brendan.
What?
You can't go that way.
Oh, now, come on, Craig. After everything I've done for you...
No, I'm sorry. I can't show favoritism. You're gonna...
What? You can show favoritism. Don't you have to favorite anything? No. I didn't make no...
very good, Linda.
Thanks. Sam Cousins says they're going to make it big sooner than we think. They cut a demo last week and Sam sent it to Nashville.
Who's Sam Cousins?
He's part owner of the discotheque where the toothpick plays. He says that they got the new sound that's going to be heard in high places.
High places? Mountains?
You know what I mean. He says that Mel and the boys should be signing the contract inside of 2 weeks.
That's wonderful.
Anybody want my pickle?
Are you asking a question, or is that what they're playing? You can unplug us, sweetheart.
Very good, fellas.
Thank you.
I understand you guys are close to signing a recording contract.
Well, that's Sam talking big again. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, say, Mr. Dixon, you should hear our sound in the club.
Yeah, why don't you bring your chick down some weekend?
Right now, his chick is worried you guys are going to be late for class. Now, let's go.
Did you know that Alexander Hamilton was blackmailed for messing with another guy's chick?
Oh.
No, it's true, it's true. And there was talk that he embezzled a little to pay off the blackmailer.
Then how come he raised a statue in the park downtown?
Yeah, and they got his picture on a $10 bill.
Well, he cleared himself by proving he paid the blackmailer out of his own pocket. People who thought like Hamilton were given a certain name.
Lovers, huh?
Monarchists.
Right.
You mean there were Americans who dug all that king and queen jazz? But I thought that's what the war was all about.
Well, these people were for making their families and friends the royalty of the new country.
And they even tried to make George Washington our first king.
Yeah, but he didn't dig it. He used to freak when anyone would call him Your Majesty.
Well, very good presentation.
Thank you.
You've got a flair for teaching.
Well, it's what I've always wanted. Did you know you wanted to be a teacher at my age?
Oh, I was thinking about it.
Teaching really turns me on, you know?
As much as playing rock?
Well, it's not exactly the same thing.
I hear that your group is planning on a career in music.
Oh, not really. Some of the guys talk big. You know how many groups there are trying to break into the rock business?
Quite a few.
Sure. And anyhow, if I don't become a teacher, who's going to teach the kids the real story behind our American heroes?
Right.
Later.
Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi.
I've got good news. It's almost all set for the fishing trip. And since I talked to you, I managed to scare up 2 bona fide fishing poles.
18 kids on 2 fishing poles.
Oh, 19. I've never been fishing before either.
Are you kidding?
No, I don't know why, so you'll have to teach me too.
Okay. Hey, are they going to let us have the bus?
Well, I'll know for sure later, so keep your fingers crossed.
They are.
Okay.
Come on and play. No, we got you. Now you better watch it.
Sir? We were kind of expecting the band room to be free by now.
What George is trying to say is that the guys sort of signed up for the room, Mr. Kaufman.
So did I. You can have it as soon as I finish the page I'm on.
Sure. Go ahead. Ask him if he'd mind if we set up.
Don't tell him I don't mind if you do it quietly.
Thanks, Mr. Kaufman.
I know when I'm late.
We were being quiet, Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, I know that. It's just that your quiet is considerably louder than mine.
Don't you like our music, Mr. Kaufman?
Oh, yes, some of it. Now, tell me, why does it always have to be so loud? I took a drive in the country last Sunday, and it was so peaceful. It made me realize how much I miss tiny, tiny little sounds. You know, like the sound of a brook. Just a quiet little bloop, bloop, bloop. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Sure. I mean, like a flute can really turn me on.
Right. Same thing.
Hey, Mel, play Gets Me By. You didn't play it this afternoon.
Okay.
It's far out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Catch me by. Catch me by. Catch me by. Catch me by. Do you know when you are so far away? Catch me by. Catch me by. Catch me by.
What's up, Sam? Did the club burn down or something?
Yeah, what's wrong? What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. I get no appreciation. No thanks. That's what's wrong. Now, I'm making you guys stars, and not so much as a thank you, Sam.
He's heard from Nashville.
If getting a special delivery and a long-distance call is hearing from them, well, then I heard from them.
Come on, say that, man. Come on, don't hold out on us.
They want you in Nashville in 2 weeks to cut an album. Gonna go first class by bus. Oh, absolutely. We're gonna use all the investments and invest in Sam Cousins. Okay? We'll buy a plane.
Oh, Miss Johnson, Mr. Dixon. Have you got a minute?
Sure, Mel. What's on your mind?
I don't think I'm going to be in town to take my finals.
You won't?
I don't think so.
Well, when will you know?
Oh, I know I won't. I'm going to have to go to Nashville.
Oh, so the long shot paid off, huh?
Yeah. Sam says we got a lot of new numbers to work up before we go. They want us to cut an album.
Well, can't Sam put this thing off? A week or two couldn't make that much difference.
Sam said no. I asked already.
That means you're going to have to take an incomplete. It's too bad. You're almost at the end of the semester.
Oh, can I take the finals when I get back from Nashville?
I don't know if you can do that legally.
Why don't you check with Miss McIntyre?
Do you think she'll let me?
I don't know.
How about our fishing trip? You'll be able to make that, won't you?
I guess so. I'll sure try.
You know, I think it's exciting. You know, who ever heard of Liverpool before the Beatles? Who knows, the nickel-plated toothpick could put Walt Whitman high on the map.
You've got to do this for me. I don't mean you've got to. You don't got to do anything. But what I mean is you've got to make an exception just this once.
Now, let me say that
I mean, there must be a loophole somewhere, Miss McIntyre. There's a loophole in everything, my dad's always saying.
Well,
Look, I want to be a teacher. But you think I want to miss the finals? All I want is the chance to take them when I get back.
I get the picture, Mel.
Yeah, well, the school made an exception for Barney Pickens. Now, of course, he got busted and couldn't take the finals at the time. But if I don't go to Nashville, I'm going to... Yeah?
Permit me to say something in my defense.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I just want to say that it can be arranged.
It can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is at least as special a case as when Barney Pickens got busted. The group sounds great. If you guys want to do something for yourselves, the school will try to work with you.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, what a lot of you kids can't get through your heads is that some of us are really on your side. On your way out, give a list of your teachers to Marion, and I'll send them my official okay.
Thanks a lot.
You have to take your finals no later than 2 weeks into the next semester. Now, will you be back by then?
I will be back by then. You're what it's all about. You know that, Miss McIntyre?
Thanks. I think.
Good. They'll love it back home.
Hey, how about if we lie down on our backs with our arms and legs in the air and play like that?
Great, I love it.
Do it. We wave goodbye to the school like we're glad to be rid of it.
I love it. Do it, yeah.
It's much funnier, man.
All right, okay. Play it like he says. This is costing me, huh? Good. Get a lot of face, man. All right?
I'll be right back.
Hey, Mel, what do you think you're doing? This is costing me money. I mean, bread.
I know.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Mel.
Hi.
What are the pictures for?
Oh, publicity. Listen, I wanted you to know that Miss McIntyre said it would be all right for me to make up the finals when I get back from Nashville.
Well, glad to hear it.
You're glad.
Mel, come on.
Hey, is that Sam?
Oh, yeah, that's Sam, all right. Listen, Miss McIntyre said she was going to send you her okay, so it's going to be official and everything. Okay?
Mel. Let's try to stick with it till we get the pictures out of the way, huh?
I just wanted to tell them it'll be all right for me to take their finals when I get back from Nashville.
What, get back from Nashville? You're not coming back right away.
I'm not?
Hey, you think they're gonna let you cut a few sides and let you go back like it never happened? They got a circuit of promo dates they send their groups on.
But I gotta get back, Sam.
Come on, let's go.
I'm talking to Sam. It's important to me to get back. I want to graduate.
Mel, we'll talk about it later. Let's go, Mel. Yeah, but why didn't you tell us this before? Later. We'll talk about it later, I promise, all right? We'll talk. We always talk, don't we? All right, now what I want is one nice shot, okay? So I want you should all stand together. Come on. Come on, man, that's it. Good. I tell you what, put your arms around each other's shoulders. Good. Come on, quit clowning around. Smile nice. Come on, Mel. Hey, think how famous you're gonna be? Huh? Take it. That's the picture for your first album cover.
Hey, Georgie, over here. We're saving a spot for you. Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Is that a question?
Wonder what's taking Mr. Kaufman so long?
Hey, look what's in the music section of our above-ground newspaper. The nickel-plated toothpick is on its way, predicts Sam Cousins, the group's manager. He went on to say that within the year, they would be one of the biggest groups in the industry. Hey.
Well, what do you think about that?
Wow.
Sounds like a manager talking.
Maybe I shouldn't have stopped my violin lessons.
Well, music's loss is education's gain, Miss Johnson.
Thanks. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi, Miss Johnson.
Hi. The requisition for the bus and the driver were okayed, so the fishing trip is on for Saturday.
Oh, that's great, only
And 3 mothers volunteered to help us, so all we need are the worms.
I can't go.
But you have to go. None of us know how to fish, and the whole thing was your idea.
I just can't go.
Why not?
Our manager's got us working up some new numbers, and I can't get out of it. You know how it is. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to settle for an incomplete in your class, because I won't be able to take the finals after all. See ya.
Okay, now let's see the shadow effect. Isn't that far out?
Sure is.
Hi. Do I know you?
I'm Pete Dixon. This is Alice Johnson. Mel Wirtz is one of our students.
Oh, great. Am I glad you're here. You know, it's about time you and I had a little talk. Kill the lights, Marty. Sit down, please. Sit. Marty, the lights. Yeah, now that's better. You know, I've been planning to get up to that school to talk to somebody, but I've been so hung up. I mean, unbelievable. Listen, what's with Mel?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he's dragging his feet. You know, when we're listening to other rock groups, their arrangements, things like that. He's got his nose in some lousy school book. Now, I wish you'd talk to him.
About what?
His career. For his own good, let him know what I'm doing for him. I mean, he's got a great opportunity here. We don't want to see him blow it,
Look, you seem to be doing fine on your own, Mr. Cousins. Mel told me that he's dropping out of school.
You're kidding. Well, what do you know? All my talking worked, huh?
Oh, it worked just fine. It took him out of school, out of the Head Start program, out of going to college, and out of becoming a teacher.
A teacher? What's wrong with him? A teacher?
Has it ever occurred to you, Mr. Cousins, that a boy like Mel might be better off being a teacher than being in a rock group?
Better off? How better? How much money can a teacher make? Answer me that. No, I mean the best teacher in the world. How much money can he make?
Mr. Cousins, if I thought it would do any good to talk to you, I'd try that. And by the same token, if I thought it would do any good to knock some sense into your head, I would do that too. But it is obvious that there's nothing that I can say or do that can make you understand anything.
Hey, man, easy, huh?
Let's go, Alice.
And that goes double for me.
How come maybe teachers? That's what we get for our lousy taxes.
Mr. and Mrs. Wirtz? Come right in.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Mr. Dixon, Mel's history teacher.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I thought you would bring Mel with you.
Well, we asked like you said to, but he had another rehearsal.
I suppose you want to talk about Mel dropping out of school?
Yes, we do. You know, Mr. Wirtz, Mel is a good student. He enjoys school. And we think he would be making a big mistake by dropping out.
I know what you mean, but what are you going to do? He's a kid.
That's why we thought with your help we could convince him to stay in school. My husband and myself have always made it a point never to interfere with Mel, unless it's an emergency.
Oh, you don't think his dropping out of school is an emergency?
Oh, come on now. It's not as if he was dropping out just to pitch pennies on a street corner.
He's one of the nickel-plated toothbrushes.
Toothpicks, dear. Sam Cousins, he seems pretty darn sure that they've got a sound that'll knock 'em dead. Sam feels that they could make a lot of dough with this band of theirs.
Mel's got the rest of his life to earn a living.
Well, we thought about that, but if we don't let him grab this chance, you know what he'll end up being? A teacher.
They're teachers, dear.
Oh, I meant that respectfully. But face it, how much do you make a year? 6, 7 thou?
That's personal, dear.
Some of these kids are millionaires before they're old enough to vote.
When you're that rich, you don't have to vote.
What am I going to say to the kid? No, you can't be a millionaire. You got to finish school. I mean, that's what school is for, isn't it? To learn how to make a buck.
No, that's only part of it.
We hope that school helps kids to find out who they are, too.
But Mel knows who he is. He's our son, and he's a toothbrush.
I heard you and Miss McIntyre saw my folks.
That's right.
Well, what'd you do that for? It's not as if I'm finished with school, you know.
Well, we thought you were.
Of course not. I mean, I figure I can take night classes later or maybe make up in summer school and like that.
Fine.
Well, you know I like school.
Yes, I know.
Sam spent a lot of time and money on us, and the guys and the whole school and Linda all expect me to go.
Not to mention your parents.
Yeah, how about that? They don't seem to mind me going either.
So what's the problem?
I guess there is no problem.
Except that I doubt very seriously if you'll ever get around to catching up in night school. And that's too bad. Because you told me you were interested in being a teacher. And you have got the talent for it.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
It's not for me to tell you.
Everybody's like pushing me to go with music, and can they all be so wrong? And anyway, what's the matter with a career in music?
Nothing. I just hate to see you do something because other people think it's best for you. You know, Mel, letting other people tell you what to do is like letting them tell you who you are. And that could be a very, very bad habit. I'd rather see you do something because you want to do it. Anyway, it's your decision. Just remember one thing. Be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm calling out your name, hoping you can hear. Babe, I'm bawling, hoping you will see my tears. Babe, I'm falling on my knees, hoping you can see. Babe, I'm crawling on my knees, just begging you please. And you can carry me back to that place across the track.
Fair. Take it again from the top.
Hey, we've been rehearsing since 11.
Like they say, practice makes perfect.
I've got an appointment.
To do what? Start one of those student revolts?
Quit kidding, Mel. We need the practice. I said I'm splitting. It's important.
More important than practicing?
That's right.
What's more important than practicing?
Fishing.
Fishing? You mean fishing?
I promised some kids I'd take them.
You mean fish, hooks, worms, the whole bit?
That's right, the whole bit.
Oh, come on, Mel, you know you can't do it. Hold it, guys. Hold it. So you're going fishing?
Righto.
Why, he's just kidding us, aren't you, Mel? Putting us on.
No. Great. Perfect. You go fishing. But let me just tell you something. You can take your pals with you. Because the second you walk out that door, you're through. All of you.
Mel, did you hear that? Yeah, we've been working for this break for a long time. You're not just going to toss it out the window, are you, Mel?
That's right, we've been depending on you.
You're ruinous.
Mel, the guys are right.
Of course they are. We all are, Mel. Hey, we know what's best, right, guys?
Yeah, the group comes first. You got to stick with us.
Mel! Mel!
Look, you guys know what you want, great. But I don't want the same thing. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm not wrong either. I'm only sorry it took me so long to find out.
Yeah, but what about us? Without you, we're finished.
Maybe Sam's deal is finished, but that's not everything. Look, you guys play great. You don't need me and you don't need him either. If Sam doesn't want to manage you, you'll find someone else who will.
Wait a minute. Who said Sam doesn't want you guys? It's him he doesn't want. Who needs him? Let him go. There are 1,000 guys just waiting to take his place. And guys that play way better, too. Way better.
I'll never understand you, Melvin Wirtz.
Want to come fishing? I think you'll like it.
Why?
Because everything is so quiet.
I know you have the room after me. If you look at the clock on the wall, you'll find I have another 2 minutes.
No rush, Mr. Carl.
room?
Uh-huh. You're not Mrs. Banducci. How come?
Exiled again. Back to Siberia. Opportunity knocks, dummy.
Someone robbed my English.
Hey, we gonna get marked for opportunity. Hey, I gotta leave the room.
You just came in.
This is a free country, right?
No, not exactly.
Woo! We got us a right on system.
All right, everybody, simmer down. Take your seats. Let's see if we can't get something done.
Something's done. Now, we don't do nothing. Not here.
You're supposed to leave us alone, and we won't bother you.
That's right. We're no good.
Oh. Now, you were sent here because you got into trouble with your subject teachers, and I would like to know what kind of trouble. Why were you sent here?
She insulted me.
For using obscene language in auditorium.
Man, you cussed in the auditorium. Man, shut up.
And you?
Oh, me and this young man, we had a little argument, you know.
For giving another student a bloody nose.
Oh, wow, shame, man.
And what did you do?
Like in social studies, I was wondering if to choose between a pear shape or a square-cut diamond my boyfriend wants to give me for my birthday.
Here we go again, folks.
He's also giving me a red Alvarado sports car.
All right. Lack of attention span and non-reality oriented.
This is true.
What's your name?
Tamara.
Have a seat, Tamara. Next.
I burped too loud.
And the rest of you. Why are you here?
Chalk fight.
For reading my lunch in class. Big deal.
We're all socially maladjusted. That's why. Hey, how come you here?
Yeah, did you get thrown out of class too? Are you a problem teacher?
She's not even a teacher, you dummy. She's a social worker or something.
No, I'm a teacher. I just specialize in counseling.
Are you here to shrink our heads or something?
I heard you the first time.
Well, I'm uncontrolled. Hey, where's Mrs. Banducci?
Oh, man, they just made her a warden of some prison farm or something.
All right, hold it down. Okay,
It says that I was cheating.
but you weren't.
Do you see that? She don't believe me neither.
I wonder why.
Well, I'd like to believe you.
Oh, yeah, that's what they all say.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, I was talking to myself, and Bruckner thought that I was asking somebody else for the answer. I knew the answer.
Why were you talking to yourself, George?
I was telling myself what a jerk old Bruckner is. He doesn't like me to say it out loud.
What have you got against teachers, George?
Teachers. I love teachers. Greatest people on the face of the earth, teachers. Why? Aren't you proud to be a member of such a great and glorious profession, Miss McIntyre?
As a matter of fact, I am.
You know, what I don't understand is why they call it the opportunity room.
Well, it used to be called the social adjustment room. You like that better?
Well, you see, the kids are supposed to be given an opportunity to straighten themselves out.
It's tough. You get the kids for 50 minutes, and every one of them is hung up with some problem or another.
Yeah. You don't get to give any grades, so you got no leverage.
Something happened. What happened?
Nothing.
Come on, Liz.
Let it all hang out.
Who was it?
Off the record,
Sure, off the record.
George Badgley,
Who sent him to see you?
Bill Bruckner.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Curly-headed kid. Lost his cool and blew up at Bill a couple of months ago. I remember that.
What happened?
He threw a book at Bill.
Did he hit him?
No, but with that kind of a kid, you can never tell. He smiles one minute and goes wild the next.
Did he throw something at you?
No. But he's got the nastiest grin. Oh, like he knows what you're thinking.
And if he gives you any trouble, you send him in to see me.
George will be all right.
It is not George I'm worried about.
No, I like school. I really do. It's the teachers that bug me. I'm going to start this movement called GROT. G-R-O-T. Get rid of teachers. Write box 214, Washington, D.C., and everybody send their contributions to the Opportunity Room.
Give me that address again, will you?
All right. Does anybody have any constructive suggestions? Like, what would you do if you were in charge of this school?
Well, I'd put a moratorium on all homework.
And a color TV in every room.
Yeah, and 6 months vacation with pay for all kids.
All right, get serious. Tamara?
If you're gonna get married, I don't know why you ought to have to stay in school.
Now she's getting married. Congratulations, babe.
Let's try something.
Now what?
Pass the paper back. Put your name, your best subject, and your worst subject.
What's this for?
Well, I'm going to try to help George get rid of teachers. So we're going to try a little experiment. A skill swap. Students teaching students. If it works, we may be able to do away with teachers forever.
I can take that.
Alicia, you speak Spanish, so put that down. Can I swap Spanish for touching toes in gym?
Hey, I'm great in lunch.
I'm fantastic in weightlifting.
Yeah, well, then we'll give you all the heavy problems.
Funny.
I'll swap music for help in bio.
Tamara, what skill do you want to swap?
I don't know.
What was your highest grade last semester?
B+ in art.
Well, put that down. Now try to find somebody to help you with your worst subject, and I'll come around to check.
I got all worst subjects. I'll help any good-looking chick in anything. Hey,
What about you, George?
No, I'm not good at anything. According to Bruckner, that is.
Why'd he send you down this time?
We had a test. I passed it, but he failed me.
Why'd he do that?
He has to have some fun, doesn't he? He works long, tedious hours for little reward. Failing me is like a Christmas bonus for old Bruckner.
Why did he fail you?
Same reason. I was cheating, he said.
Well, why did he think you were cheating this time?
I had my math book open on my desk.
Well, didn't you realize that having your book open during a test would naturally make Mr. Bruckner think you were cheating?
Well, he doesn't need any excuses.
Okay, George. But like I said, if you want help, I'll try to give it to you.
Why? I mean, why do you want to help me?
You figure it out. Bill, do you have some time?
Sure, about a minute and a half before my next class.
Bill, I've been rotated to the Opportunity Room, and
Good luck.
I had one of your algebra students, George Badgley.
George Badgley. That's a bad news kid from head to toe. You know, the weird thing is he's actually pretty good in algebra, but he bends himself way out of shape to antagonize me. And evidently, he's done the same thing in his other classes.
If he flunks math, he won't be able to graduate, you know.
I've tried with that boy, believe me. But I'm not a psychologist. I get paid for teaching math.
Well, maybe if you had a talk with him, gave him some extra time.
Memo to all teachers. Please send list of unassigned lockers to office before 3 today. Requisition slips in triplicate due this morning. Age level reports due before 12. Collect all books for inventory. If I gave him a little extra time. Extra time. What's that?
I knew it. I just knew it.
What?
You and old Bruckner in there, ganging up on poor little Georgie.
I was trying to clear up the misunderstanding between you two.
Tell me, Miss McIntyre, do you believe me when I say that I wasn't cheating?
Yeah, I believe you.
How come? How come you believe me? I mean, I could have been cheating. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, I was cheating.
George Badgley, you little...
There, you see? I knew it. I knew it all along. You really got it in for me, haven't you? As a matter of fact, you hate me, don't you?
Now it's your... Okay, now it's your turn to repeat it, okay? Okay. I got it. You can do it. I know you can do it. No, I can't. Hold tight.
News of bone.
Right.
Booze of day. Eels on.
Great! I told you you could get it.
Hey, well, pretty soon I'm gonna have to start wearing a beret and eating garlic.
Okay. Then I got this Hollywood offer. But my boyfriend wants to take me to this Caribbean island his family practically owns.
You sure tell great stories. You should be a writer.
I can't spell.
Well, that's what I'm gonna teach you.
George, Jerry's failing algebra. Why don't you help him?
Sorry, no can do.
Why not?
I'm afraid the teachers' union will get on my back.
I hoped if you started thinking about somebody else for a change, you'd stop feeling so sorry for yourself.
Great. Fantastic. Sigmund Freud hits Walt Whitman. Well, tell me some more about what's going on in the garbage pail of my mind, Miss Freud. I'm all ears.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but you make everything so hard for yourself. You're turning your back on an opportunity.
An opportunity for what? For Hank to teach me spelling or Laura to teach me maps? You gotta be kidding. The only map I need is the one that shows me how to get out of here. I'll see you around campus.
Don't sweat it, Miss McIntyre. Can't win them all.
You think you might find something in his permanent record that might help?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether any of this means anything at all. Environmental factors, socioeconomic factors, non-academic minded.
Non-academic minded. What does that mean?
A delinquent. Let me see. We know he's good in algebra. Does he have any strengths or interests that you can work on? If he ever comes back, that is.
Insolent, obscene language, disruptive conduct.
If it only said latent leader.
Or a very high underachiever.
Arrogant, seems to think he should run the class.
Hi, Miss McIntyre.
Hello. Oh, Tamara, by the way, that was a fine drawing you did for Hank.
Was it really? You mean you really liked it?
Of course. Why, don't you believe me?
Well, I don't know.
It's hard for you to believe you do anything well, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, take my word for it. It's a fine drawing, and I'm sure Hank really appreciated it, too.
I'm glad.
Tamara, do you happen to know where I might find George Badgley?
I don't know. Oh, is he in trouble again?
No, he ran out of school, and I just wanted to speak to him.
I don't know for sure. Maybe the taco stand. He's there sometimes on my way home from school.
Okay, thanks. Tamara, you draw beautifully.
Well, forget it, Liz. I'm dropping out, and that's that.
You mean copping out, don't you?
Clever, clever. I ain't so hot in my vocabulary.
Well, that must be because you've had such lousy teachers.
Now I know why you're here. You want to fail me in taco stand.
You're a coward, George. When things get difficult, you quit. You blame other people. Mr. Bruckner hates you. I hate you. Everybody hates George. So poor George hasn't got a chance. But if somebody does like you, you push them until they hate you too. So you still have your excuse for not trying.
You've really been thinking about me a lot, haven't you, Miss McIntyre?
Sure have.
Wondering what's going on in that spaced-out George Badgley's head. Well, you don't know anything, you big deal teacher.
You think you could do any better?
Anybody could.
I'm asking you. Could you do better than I do?
Yeah, sure, so what?
Prove it.
What do you mean, prove it? What are you talking about?
Come to school tomorrow and take over the class.
I could do anything I want? No matter what?
No matter what.
Okay. Maybe we should start with what qualities you feel would make a good teacher.
Well, if she's absent a lot.
Yeah, deaf, dumb, and blind.
Okay, cut it out.
You asked us for our opinions and we giving them to you.
Yeah, very funny. Anybody got a serious answer?
A teacher should be intelligent.
Well, that rules out more than half of them.
All right, let's put down intelligent. And who did that?
Did what?
You threw that, didn't you, Vic?
No.
Don't lie.
He didn't
Man,
do
I
it.
I got a fever. I better go to the nurse.
I gotta go to my locker, man.
No, you don't. Neither one of you. I know all about that stuff. Now sit down.
Why don't you sit down and shut up?
Yeah.
Look, will you act your age? We're trying to have a discussion.
Louder.
Funnier.
Hiccup! Uh-oh. I have got the hiccups. You know, all my life I've been trying to catch him, and hiccup, I have finally caught the hiccup.
All right. You don't quit, huh?
Oh, what you gonna do, man? Send me to the opportunity room? I'm already there.
What are the qualities? What's the role of a teacher?
I gotta go. My fever's getting worse. I'm delirious.
I gotta sharpen my pencil, man.
I said cut it out. Now sit down.
I gotta go, just for the heck of it.
I don't got to go, but I'm going anyway.
All right, quiet down. You two, sit down and shut up.
You've got a piercing voice, teacher.
What is going on here? Oh, I get it. This is your idea, isn't it, Miss McIntyre? You told him to do this, so I'd wind up looking like a fool.
Since when do we do what a teacher says to do?
That's a terrible thing you just said, George. Miss McIntyre wouldn't do a thing like that. Don't you know that?
You. What do you know? You're so spaced out you don't even know your own name. Tamara. Everybody knows your real name is Gussie Huffner. And all that junk about your boyfriend.
George.
You don't even have a boyfriend. You're too skinny and ugly to have a boyfriend. You're just a liar.
George, that's enough.
That's okay, Miss McIntyre. I know I tell stories a lot, George. But at least I don't hurt anybody. Except maybe myself. But you lie too. You tell yourself that everyone hates you. But that's not true. I like you, George. And I thought you'd do pretty good as a teacher up there. But I guess you got scared when things didn't look like they were going too well, huh? So you had to start blaming everybody, right, George? I know how it is. Because I get scared a lot, too.
There's not much time left in the period, so why don't we get together with our partners at...
Mr. McIntyre, can we continue this discussion?
Yeah, it's great to say in public what we always say in private.
Maybe we can give some real suggestions this time.
All right.
Miss McIntyre,
Yes, George.
can I say something? Gussie, Tamara, whatever you want to be called. I just wanted to say that, well, all that stuff they said, most of that stuff that you said was true. Almost all of it, as a matter of fact. And that's all. Except that you're not too skinny or ugly to have a boyfriend. I just said that because...
Because you're mean.
Yeah, that's right, Miss McIntyre, because I'm mean.
All right. You think you're mean enough to carry on as teacher until the bell?
Okay. What about some good qualities?
She should greet us with a smile.
Yes, you should have patience.
Right.
She should truly believe what she's teaching.
Yeah, and trust the students.
And be a friend.
Do you know that attendance in the opportunity room has been cut in half since Miss Banducci came back to take over?
Really? How come?
Well, a lot of kids were purposely getting booted out of their classes just so they could be with you.
You were making the opportunity room their favorite subject.
Well, it was getting to be mine, too.
Well, don't worry about it, because believe me, your good work has not gone unnoticed. We have plans for you.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that we were going to create a greater opportunity room?
A greater opportunity room?
For those kids who couldn't come up to the high behavioral standards of the opportunity room. But we shelved that idea.
Oh, what happened?
Well, we decided it would be wasteful and unnecessary. You see, instead of starting a whole new classroom with all the problems that entails, we decided that we would just take all the difficult, unbelievably impossible kids and send them straight to you. What do you think of that?
Should I tell him?
Do you want an honest answer?
Yeah.
No.
Guy comes right out of practice, changes his clothes, and goes home. You mean he never takes a shower?
Not that I ever saw.
Probably figures if he's too clean, he ain't sincere.
At ease, at ease.
Now that's too clean.
Can I help you?
I have an appointment with Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, well, you go right down this hall and turn
I
to...
know.
All right, so she wanted to get married. That's okay, but couldn't she give me notice and then elope? Well, keep looking for a substitute. Right. Oh, hey, I think I'll ask Alice Johnson if she knows anything about home ec. Yeah, well, I doubt it too, but I'll ask her. Right, okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. Sometimes things pile up around here.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, where were we? The injury, how'd you get it, shrapnel?
No, baseball. We had games between the outfits.
Oh. I'm trying to remember if you played baseball when you were a student at Whitman.
No, sir, I didn't. I guess I just didn't have the confidence, but I filled out some in the Marines. Anyway, the knee problem isn't serious, but it was bad enough to get me a medical discharge. So, I thought I'd like to come back and finish my senior year. That is, if that's okay.
How old are you?
19, just a couple months ago.
Well, sure, you can finish up at Whitman, but don't you think you'd be a little better off in adult night classes?
Night classes?
Sure, I mean, after 2 years in the service, you might be a little bit uncomfortable as a regular high school student.
Oh, no. No, I've been thinking about it a lot. I want to come back to Whitman.
Well, okay. Just fill out the forms and welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. You don't know how I've been looking forward to this.
But my uncle still hates the Germans and the Japanese. And the war's been over for 25 years.
I know. But that's because the newspapers, the radio, newsreels, movies, all showed the Japanese and the Germans as evil people. Unfortunately, many people still think of them that same way.
You mean the movies were propaganda too, Mr. Dixon?
Sure. You know, movies can be a very effective means of making people think a certain way.
What about the TV? Every night you see a war coming from somewhere, Vietnam or the Middle East. But you don't think of those people you see as good guys and bad guys, like in those old movies. You just see poor people suffering.
That's true, Valerie. Mass communication has also taken a lot of the glory out of war and taught us a little bit about how other people live.
Do you think mass communication will ever help us to prevent war and distrust?
Well, what do you all think? Monty.
I don't know if this answers the question, but it happened to me.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just a kid when I joined the service.
Oh, just a kid? That's like us.
I guess some of you didn't know that I spent over a year in Vietnam with the Marines.
I got a cousin Joe in the Marines. Do you know him?
That's enough, Paul.
Well, anyway, I went to Japan once on an R&R, and that's rest and rehabilitation.
Oh, I thought that was Roy and Rogers.
All right, let's listen to what Monty has to say. We might get something out of it. Go ahead, Monty.
Well, it's really nothing, except I had a lot of crazy ideas about what Japan would be like. But when I got there, I...
Hold it. Monty.
No, that's all right. Forget it.
Okay. Read chapter 9 and we'll continue tomorrow.
Well, that was like old times.
What do you mean?
You know, making a jerk out of myself.
I wouldn't take it too seriously.
You know, I changed since I left Whitman.
Well, I'm sure you have. After spending a couple of years in the Marines, you're bound to think differently than any of the kids here.
Yeah. I used to be just a skinny little jerk that nobody noticed. Just one of the creeps hanging around waiting for one of the big shots to say hello. I didn't have a date the whole time I was here.
Is that why you quit school?
Sure. Seemed to me like everybody else was having a good time except me. It was really crummy to go from class to class every day without being noticed.
Is it so important to you to be noticed, Monty?
Are you kidding? I thought about it the whole time I was in the service. You know, I'd say to myself when things would get tough, I'd say, hang in there, Monty. When you get out and you go back to Whitman, you're going to be somebody. Somebody that the other kids look up to.
Tell me something, Monty. If the kids didn't look up to you when you were here before, what makes you think they're going to look up to you now?
Well, because I'm different. I'm older. I was afraid to go out for baseball when I was here, but I played in the service and played real good. I can't miss making the team here. I'm going to be somebody this time around, Mr. Dixon. You just watch me.
Now, usually when I substitute in a class, I play it very open and honest. In class, I say, I don't know any more about this subject than you do, so let's get out our books and learn together. And you know what usually happens?
What?
They walk all over me. No, it's terrible. But this time, in home economics, I decided to try something new. I pretended I knew all about cooking, and it worked. They really thought I could cook.
Really? What'd your class make?
Oh, this fantastic banana skin pie.
Banana skin?
Sure. Don't you know all the vitamins are in the skin?
Isn't that something? And I've been throwing them away all my life, like a fool.
You know, you've been eating lunch in your office so much that I've forgotten what you look like.
Well, feast your eyes. It's the only feast you're going to get in this place.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you. What do you know about Monty Harris?
The kid that used to be in the Marines? Not much. Why? Something wrong?
Well, he's got this idea that he's going to be an important man around Whitman. And that he was a nobody when he was here before, but this year is going to be different.
Well, I've had a few of those fantasies myself. You know, if I could see her again with what I know now, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think we do.
I don't.
Well, at least you didn't try to act your fantasies out, you know, make them come true. I have a feeling that's what Monty's trying to do.
They could be in for a big disappointment.
Hey, Captain.
It was Corporal.
That's okay. I talked to enlisted men, too. Sit down. Ah, the Daily Summit Conference.
They're the big deals, huh?
They think so.
That's funny. When I was here before, they used to group around over there, too.
Yes. From semesters immemorial, Whitman aristocracy have rallied round the sundial. Well, it's the perfect spot, really. Distant yet conspicuous. One can only stare and wonder at the awesome wit, the lofty dialogues taking place right now and in the past. If that sundial had ears and could but speak.
You sound jealous.
No, sir, Corporal. Maybe you're jealous. I'm reading.
Well, look, I seen this out-of-sight poster. I mean, it is out of sight. You just gotta see it.
Well, how far is the bookstore?
Just about 2 blocks.
Oh, come on, we got time. Yeah, let's go. Hi. What's happening?
Not too much.
Well, I don't know many people yet. The guys that I knew all graduated.
Oh, yeah, you spent all that time in the Marines, right?
Yeah, I'm Monty Harris.
Rudy and Paul.
I'm Ed.
I'm Suzanne Kovac.
I know.
How's it feel being back in school, Monty?
Groovy.
Oh, yeah, groovy. Well, look, Monty, we were just going someplace. We'll see you later, huh?
Mind if I come along?
I'm sorry, it's impossible.
How come?
Well, that's a military secret. Right, guys?
Yeah, we'll see ya.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Sure, I'll catch up.
What did I say wrong?
Oh, don't mind them. They pick up on anything. Groovy isn't used much anymore. I mean, not around here.
I see. Hey, where do you all hang out? I'd sure like to get back in the swing of things.
No place in particular.
Then maybe I could take you out sometime to a movie or something.
Oh, well, I don't think so.
Well, why not? You going with somebody?
Hey, Susie, you coming?
Be right there. Look, I don't think so.
Why? Do you think these guys are any better than me?
I just don't want to go out with you, okay? You really are pushy, you know that?
Groovy. Keen. Super.
That guy's
a drag. He really is.
That's right, Jerry. The United States Congress did vote against the League of Nations.
But wasn't the League of Nations our idea?
Yes, it was. And it was a big defeat for President Wilson. Now, in what way do you think history might have changed if the United States had become a member of the League of Nations? Monty?
You got me, sir.
Ed?
Well, maybe Hitler wouldn't have started the Second World War.
It's a possibility. Or he could have been stopped after he militarized the Rhineland. Yeah, there'll be a surprise test tomorrow, so you'd better crack some books tonight. Monty, can I see you a minute?
Yes, sir.
You've been kind of quiet lately. Is anything wrong?
No, sir, I don't think so. Actually, I think I've just been changing my tactics.
Oh.
Yeah, I was coming on pretty strong and putting everybody uptight, so I thought I'd just cool it. You know, take things a little easier.
Well, glad to hear it.
Don't worry, sir. Everything will be all right. But thank you for asking.
Hey, here we come. Hey, Monty. Listen, would you do us a big favor?
Sure, what is it?
Well, the guys and I have been talking, you know, about the draft. And one of these days we're gonna get called up. At least some of us.
So?
Well, we figured since you've been in already, you could give us some pointers.
Pointers, huh?
Yeah, like what to expect and all that.
Well, gee, I really don't know where to begin.
Well, Monty, why'd you join up in the first place? What a question. He doesn't like to see the little guy shoved around, right, Monty?
Well, to tell you the truth,
Hey, Monty, you think the Marines could make a man out of him?
Who wants to be a man? I like being a boy.
But boys don't get to wear uniforms, right? And go to Japan.
Okay, that's enough.
Japan? Now that must have been groovy.
Yeah, real groovy.
I said that's enough.
Monty, Mr. Kaufman wants to see you right away.
In a minute.
No kidding, come on. Monty,
What does Kaufman want?
well, the thing is,
The thing is what?
he doesn't want to see you.
What is this?
Well, I saw what those creeps were doing, and I had to get you away from them.
You don't have to protect me.
I wasn't protecting you. I was protecting them. You were going to hit Ed.
Look, I know you're trying to help, but from now on, would you mind your own business?
I'm sorry, Monty. But you can't twist yourself out of shape trying to make people respect you. You can't force them to think that you're important.
That's what you think.
Yes, sir, Corporal, sir.
Right away.
Come on, Ed, that's 5 straight strikes. Dig in there and get a piece of it.
Wow, that new guy can really pitch. Yeah. Won't Mr. Kaufman be excited? You know, Whitman's needed a strong fireball and right-hander with pinpoint control for a long time. He's smart, too. Now, notice the way he moves the ball around the corner of the plate. He keeps them off balance. Just when they're expecting a fastball, letter high, he throws them a change-up low and away.
Alice Johnson? You've been holding out on me? You've been married to Sandy Koufax all this time, and you didn't tell anybody?
No. Actually, it's my dad. He's a baseball nut. He used to take me to baseball games before I could even walk. Yeah, the first present he ever gave me was a rattle shaped like a bat. Oh. Hey, Liz, do you think...
What?
That he might have wanted a boy?
Oh, no, I don't think so. No.
I'm not so sure. He still calls me Lefty.
Alice, I'm sure you didn't care whether you were a boy or a girl.
Are you?
Just as long as you could hit.
Okay, that's enough. Who's next? You, get up there. Come on, you guys are swinging like rusty gates. Harris, how's the arm?
Swell. I've been working out.
Okay, we don't want you to hurt yourself. Just pitch to one more batter.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
How we doing? Any new prospects?
Yeah, the kid on the mound. You better sign him fast, Mr. Kaufman, before Webster hears about him.
Really?
If Alice Johnson says he's good, he is good. Do you know him, Mr. Kaufman?
Yes, I do. Well, that's Monty Harris. That's the ex-Marine I was telling you about.
Ex-Marine?
Yeah, the one who wanted to be noticed so badly.
Well, looks like he's gonna get his wish.
Pete, did you say ex-Marine?
Sure.
Well, how old is he?
Okay, let's call it a day. Fellas, 3 laps around the field and then into the showers. Hey, Harris. Hey, you're quite a pitcher.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, we can use you around here. Take your laps around the field and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
And Harris, take care of that arm of yours.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Okay, Monty. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, Monty,
Oh, hi, Mr. Dixon.
can I talk to you a minute?
I gotta take my laps.
Monty, you can't play baseball.
What did you say?
I said you're ineligible to play baseball here at Whitman.
Not eligible? What do you mean? You saw me out there. The coach said...
It's a matter of athletic regulations. 18 is the top age for high school athletics, unless a kid turns 19 after the season starts.
But my birthday was just a couple of months ago. This is crazy.
I know you're disappointed, but you are ineligible and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, there's gotta be. It isn't fair.
It may not be what you want, but it is fair. You know that.
I don't know that. You don't know that either. You know how much I've looked forward to coming back and making this team and being somebody that people can look up to? When I was in the service, I dreamed about coming back to Whitman and making up for the years that I was a nobody. For the first time in my life, I'm getting something I want. And you're telling me I can't have it.
That's right. Like a lot of people can't have what they want. Monty, when you were in high school, you wanted to be a big shot, right? And you didn't make it. So you thought you'd give it a second try, only this time with an edge.
What do you mean?
You're older, more experienced, a lot stronger than any of the kids here. Monty, you're a man. Now, don't you think it's about time you started acting like one? Yesterday is gone forever. You got a whole new life ahead of you. A lot of new challenges. Who knows, you might find out that being a big shot is not so important after all.
He's right, Monty. Don't you think you ought to grow up?
Look, leave me alone, will you?
All right, Monty, but first, I want to tell you something. You've been so busy trying to make the whole world think you're so darn important that you've turned your back on the one person around here who really does think that you're important. Me, Valerie Henderson. And if that's not good enough for you, well, then why don't you just re-enlist or re-up or whatever they call it? Or at least go take a shower and drown yourself.
Well, Monty, if leaving Whitman is what you want, I guess you know what you're doing.
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you think you ought to, think about it a little longer?
It wouldn't change anything.
Are you, quitting because you can't play baseball?
Yeah, in a way. See, it's like Mr. Dixon said. I came back here trying to relive yesterday. Well, yesterday's gone forever. I don't belong here anymore. I've got today and tomorrow to think about. Anyway, that's why I'm quitting.
No, I can certainly understand why you feel you have to leave Whitman, but I'd like to see you continue your education someplace else, like adult night extension courses.
Well, I've already enrolled.
Oh, you have?
Sure. Now I'll be going to school with kids my own age.
And older. You know, some of those kids are considerably older. Well, good, I'm pleased.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Muncie.
Come back visit us sometime.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You really think it's impossible to recapture the past?
Well, that depends on what you're trying to recapture. Why?
Well, you know, when I was in college, I was a pretty fair long-distance runner. Not great, but steady, you know. And lately, ever since I've been jogging with Ken Dragan every morning, a lot of my stamina has come back. Now, over in West Baldwin next month, they're holding a cross-country race. Now, wait a minute, now, in just a minute, it's a cross-country race. I just thought, will you just let me explain? I don't expect to win it, but last year a man 5 years older than me finished the race. You don't think so? I don't think so either.
Come on, hustle. All right. Okay. Come on now, let's go. Run away for David.
Yep, the team is really rounding into shape. Boy, it's amazing what a couple of weeks of hard practice can do.
Do you think we have a chance at the division championship?
Well, it all depends on, one, whether we can come up with a consistent left-hander, and two, whether our speed will make up for our lack of power.
We're not too powerful, huh?
Not enough long ball hitters, Liz.
Guess we'll have to play a lot of hit and run, huh?
Right, Pete. Bunt, steal, hit behind the runner. You know, the kind of club that makes its own breaks.
I don't agree, Miss Johnson. Ed Waters and Juan Fernandez both hit the long ball. And once Jerry Martin learns to wait for his pitch, he'll be able to give the ball a good ride also. Oh, excuse me, I'm meeting somebody.
Valerie, where... I was going to ask her where she learned so much about baseball.
Come on, Ed! You can do better than that! Come on, relax those shoulders. Give it a nice level cut. Come on, you can do it! Be a hitter up there, Ed, boy! Be a hitter! Be a hitter! Gosh, you just can't relax.